everybody? DanielRock0 here, back again with another review. 2000 year in review continues with WWF's King of the Ring. Now, after having two back-to-back incredible shows, can the WWF put together the trifecta? Can they pull together a three-peat, a trifecta, a hat trick of three incredible shows? Well, unfortunately, not only do they not pull out a third great show back-to-back, they actually pull out one of the worst shows I have actually ever seen. King of the Ring 2000 is a pretty bad show. I have stood here and reviewed a lot of bad pay-per-views of 2000 so far, and all of them has been WCW shows. This would be the one case, this would be the one and only time I think, at least, I will review a WWF show that is bad. Well, so we start off with Rikishi defeating Chris Benoit via disqualification. This match did not last long. The only thing impressive about this match was Benoit's German suplex on Rikishi. Benoit locks in the crippled crossface. Rikishi gets out of it. Chris Benoit goes apeshit fucking crazy. Like, yeah, that's not, yeah, we already know that. Kind of uncomfortable to talk about this. He snaps, basically, beats the shit out of Rikishi with a steel chair, hits a flying headbutt on Rikishi, and basically goes crazy, which, again, is unnerving to talk about. A half star. This match was pretty short and pretty... Next up, we have Val Venis defeating Eddie Guerrero in an okay, sort of decent match. Val Venis would advance, and this was kind of, whatever, a 4. Next up, we have Crash Holly defeating Bull Buchanan in a King of the Ring tournament match. That's right, Bull Buchanan somehow managed to get in the King of the Ring tournament. This match is basically Bull Buchanan beating the shit out of Crash Holly. Crash Holly gets an inside cradle for the 1, 2, 3. It's over. A 1. Next up, we have Kurt Angle defeating Chris Jericho in a very damn good match. Easily the best match of the night. No question about it. A very, very good match between Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho. Stephanie McMahon would come out and would interrupt this match and get Kurt Angle the victory. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Edge and Christian defeating the Hardy Boys, Test and Albert, and Too Cool to capture the tag team belts for the, I wanted to say the 3rd time, I think. This was a very decent match. A very good fatal 4-way tag team match. 4 corners tag team match, I should say. A 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Rikishi defeating Val Venis to advance to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. This match was pretty a 2. Next up, we have Kurt Angle defeating Crash Holly to advance to the finals of the King of the Ring. This was not much better than the other match. A 3. Then we have the worst match of WWF 2000. We have one of the most disgusting things ever. We have Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe in an evening gown match for the Hardcore Championship. Why the fuck do you think it's a good idea seeing 2 men in their 50s, I think, at this particular time, dressed in drag for the Hardcore belt? This was horrifically disgusting. Seeing them in pantyhoses and these dresses and these wigs and these bras, it's just disgusting. A dud. And I'm being gentle. I I am being lenient on this. And the only reason why I'm being kind to that rating, I would give it negative, I really would, is because Crash Holly would interfere and thankfully would take the hardcore title from this and would stop this match dead after about 5 minutes of stupidity shit. Regardless, it still gets a 0. Thank God for Crash Holly, because if Crash Holly did not interfere in this match, I would probably most likely give this a negative. This is the worst match of WWF 2000. Next up, we have Road Dogg and X-Pac of DX defeating the Dudley Boys in, get this, a dumpster tables match. And what the fuck's that? Well, each team has their own stipulation of winning. In order for the Dudleys to win, they have to put both Road Dogg and X-Pac through tables to win. Oh, and Tori. I forgot. Tori's part of this too. So they have to eliminate 3 people in order to win this in order to win through tables. In order for DX to win, they have to put the Dudley Boys through dumpsters. So it's a handicap dumpster tables match. That's a mouthful. Anyways, this was a pretty decent match. There was a whole lot of crap going on. The Dudley Boys put through X-Pac and Road Dogg through tables. Did not get the job done with Tori. Tori hid in the dumpster for Road Dogg and X-Pac to get to for Road Dogg and X-Pac to dump the Dudley Boys in the dumpster for the victory. After the match, the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray hits the top rope power bomb through a table on Tori, and this was a pretty okay match. A lot of tongue twister. A handicap dumpster tables match. That's a fucking mouthful right there. A 5 out of 10. Next up, we have the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. We had Kurt Angle defeating Rikishi in a very good match. A 6 out of 10. Kurt Angle beats Rikishi and becomes the King of the Ring. A good ending to a mediocre. Actually, for the most part, the King of the Ring tournament was pretty bad. Besides the Jericho Angle match, it was really bad. Kurt Angle and Rikishi got to the final. 6 out of 10 is my rating. It was decent. And in the main event, it's not a fatal 4-way. It's not Triple H versus The Rock. WWF pulls a WCW main event. And get this, a 6-man tag team match for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. So, if any man, if Undertaker pins Vince, he's the champion. If The Rock pins Shane, he's the champ. If Kane gets a pinfall, he becomes champ. But if Vince or Shane gets a pinfall, Triple H keeps the title. How WCW can you get? That is a WCW main event stipulation. It really is a 6-man tag team match for the World Wrestling Federation title. Okay, whatever. We get The Rock, Undertaker, and Kane defeating Triple H, Vince McMahon, and Shane McMahon. The Rock got the rock bottom on Vince McMahon. 1, 2, 3. And got the team the victory. However, The Rock is the real winner, with The Rock walking out as the WWF champion. Because he got the pinfall, so he is the champion. This match was okay. Of all the main events in WWF 2000, this is actually easily the weakest link. Not saying this match is bad. It's just the weakest link, easily the weakest link of all of the main events. A 6 out of 10. Very confusing. Undertaker and Kane were turning on each other. I don't know why you couldn't just do a fatal 4-way, or maybe even a 6-pack challenge, or maybe just a 1-on-1 match with Rock and Undertaker, or Rock and Triple H, my bad. It's just, you should not have tag team matches for a singles championship belt. Stupid! WCW main event gets a 6 out of 10. Overall, King of the Ring 2000 is a pretty bad show. It's one of the worst shows I've seen in WWF. I mean, I've stood here and I've reviewed a lot of bad shows. I mean, most of those was WCW. So when I got to the end of this, and I was shocked to see a WWF show be kind of bad, it shocked the crap out of me. The rating of this show is not nearly as bad as the WCW shows, but this is the weakest link of the WWF 2000 pay-per-views. This is the one show that is pretty bad in 2000. WrestleMania 16 was poor, but this was worse. My review is a 3.7 out of 10. It is the weakest link of the pay-per-view calendar year of 2000 for WWF. And I catch you next time for Bash at the Beach and Fully Loaded. See ya. Bye.